Hey there folks, Philipp Lomboy and my dog Adobo welcoming you to today's video to help inject some new life into your marketing efforts. And in this lesson here, what I feel is the number one skill you need to master in your marketing. Now look, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of things you really need to be good at in your marketing. But I'll tell you, this is the one thing that I really strive to get good at, because if you're not good at it, well, you're really not going to get very far. And the number one thing you need to master, let me introduce that by talking about these 3 points. There are 3 ways to exponentially increase your sales. Now, let me say, first of all, that this is not an original idea from me. In fact, I don't think I've ever had an original idea in my life. This one actually comes from one of my mentors, Jay Abraham, but it's really one of the core things that I keep in my mind when I work with my clients. And let me go over the 3 ways now. The first way that you can exponentially increase your sales is to increase the number of customers that you have. I mean, it makes sense, right? The more people you're selling to, the better you're going to be doing. But while it may seem obvious, the challenge is that most people think only of this one method, and most business owners focus the majority of their marketing efforts and dollars on just getting new customers. The second way to be able to increase your business is to increase the amount of money that you take in at each transaction. So in other words, sell more to those people when they come in to buy from you. Now this, of course, involves upsells, downsells, cross-sells, bundling your products and services, and even increasing your prices. You really just want to increase the dollar value of that particular deal. Okay? Now, some business owners that I talk to are fairly savvy about this, but I'll tell you, for the most part, I really don't see this used to its full potential. The third way, and consequently the most underutilized, is increasing the number of times that those customers come back to you to give you money. So instead of just thinking about that momentary transaction, well, we now want to look at how much that customer spends with you over a longer period of time. So instead of just spending one time of the year, well, let's look at how many times do they come back to us. And this is what we refer to in marketing as the customer's lifetime value. Now, all 3 of these require you to really master this one skill that I alluded to earlier. And that skill is conversion. Okay, being able to convert at each step one thing into another. So, converting the traffic, the people that that come to your doorstep or go to your website, converting them into leads, then converting those leads into buyers, and then converting those one-time buyers into repeat buyers. Now, in order to get all this done and to do it in a consistent way so that your business, just doesn't feel like it's on a roller coaster at Six Flags, well, what you really need is a system. The thing is, if you don't have a system for conversions, and that's just a fancy term, by the way, for sales, if you don't have a good system for selling, you're going to be at the mercy of your prospect system for not buying. And believe me when I say that they have a system for not buying from you. Now, that's where your marketing funnel comes into play. That marketing funnel, that system, is going to give you a clear path where you can lead your customers and prospects down it, and where at the end of the road, it's ultimately the customer is going to buy from you over and over and over again. And with each step that your prospects take through your system, you can actually measure how they react at each point, which allows you to make adjustments to your funnel and all the different steps in there as necessary to continue to increase conversions. Here's a couple of examples of marketing funnels that I worked on recently. The one on the left is from a product launch that I was a part of as a joint venture partner, and the one on the right is from a funnel that I recently created for a client. The marketing funnels that I work with, well, they all have different numbers of steps and boxes and moving parts in them, but I'll tell you, there's one thing that they all have in common, and that is what I refer to as the concept of an ascension ladder. Now, the idea behind that is as follows. Instead of expecting your customer to make a huge leap from being pretty much a stranger to you to spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars with you in one fell swoop. Well, instead, we set up multiple interactions with them, kind of like the rungs in a ladder going up, where each one of those steps increases the customer's commitment with you gradually higher and higher. And let me go through a couple of examples of what I mean. Let me ask you, how do you get a dog to surf? Well, you wouldn't expect the dog to just go with you into your car. You take out the surfboard and said, here you go, Fido, go and surf. No. You really have to create a process for them to actually get step by step to that point where they can actually get on the surfboard, okay? Whatever those different steps may be. In business, one huge success today is Apple. Let me show you how it works with them. When you go to their website, you can see clearly that they've designed each product as an incremental step in their marketing funnel. So instead of expecting people to start off buying an iMac, as you can see in the bottom right there, which is a $2,000 computer, or even their Mac Pro, which is around $4,000 or $5,000, they start you off a little bit lower and expect you to go down the line. So most people wouldn't start off just spending $2,000 right off the bat, but they would spend maybe $49 on an iPod Shuffle. And then Apple gives different products / different steps for their customers to work through all the way up their different product lines. Now, one of the huge benefits to Apple's approach is that each step in their ascension ladder also serves as a completely independent source of income for the company. So every single step here allows Apple to make more and more money as customers go through their marketing funnel, going through all the different steps in their ascension. So the question you may want to consider asking yourself now is, how can I use an ascension ladder to grow my own business? Now, I know this may be a challenging exercise for some. Somebody say, well, gosh, I only have this one widget. I mean, that's all I do. And they get stuck. Well, let me give you a clue. This really is a brainstorming exercise. And by brainstorming, I mean your first priority is really to write down or capture as many ideas as possible. Anything that comes to your mind that answers this question, you want to write down. This is not the time to critically evaluate your ideas as they come to you. We're talking quantity first, and then later on, another step would be quality. So crossing out the things that really may not make sense. But you really want to consider asking yourself this question and see how you can grow your business that way. So that's it for this video, folks. I hope it was helpful for you, and I'd love to get your feedback in the comments section below. Till next time, cheers to your success, and I'll talk to you soon.